Well, guys, what's up? Let's, let's start with that one again. Well, hey guys, what is up? What's going on out there today? Hope you're having a great day so far, wherever you are. Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of 7 Around 7. Happy Wednesday morning to you. 8 o'clock here in the Rocky Mountain, Steamboat Springs, Colorado. 7 a.m. out there in the West Coast, California desert. Look, guys, what I've got for you today is I want to chat about the problem with closing it out, meaning that, whether it's a set or a match, and I think we talked about this recently when you're serving to close it out. But I want to kind of give you, I want to answer the question that I get frequently, which is, God dang it, I get to 5-3 in the set, or I get to whatever it is, and just get tight and nervous, and it just doesn't happen. So let me give you something else to consider. I'll give you an option to consider as to maybe why that's happening for you. Certainly why it used to happen to me and what I've been able to do instead. Not always a lockdown guarantee, but for me, it's better than the alternative. So, guys, look, before we get into that today, a couple things. Number one, down below in the description area, there's a link for 98.6 men's high-performance tennis clothing, created by the great Dave Doherty, good friend of mine and national level 65s player. Men's shorts, hats, and check it out. The link down there. Let's see the link down there. Yes, we'll take you over to 98.6, where if you put in the discount code, Dave's generously offered a 15% off discount on your initial order. The discount code is Brent01, capital B, lowercase RENT, and then a 01, and you'll get that 15% discount. Thing two is I'm going to be in Nashville, North Carolina, starting late in the evening on June 29th, which is next Tuesday, flying from Oakland to Charlotte, and then driving over to Asheville, and then I'll be around for about 12 days. Playing two events, a team event there, National Senior Men's Tennis Association team event, in honor of the great Larry Turville, who we unfortunately lost recently. And then the following, starting on June 6th, is the Asheville City Open. Looking forward to that, playing singles. Man, the 70 singles draw is loaded. But looking forward to that. And then getting to play some doubles with the great Tony Dawson, which will be fun as well. So, guys, look, the reason I mention this is if you're in North Carolina, Asheville area, and you got some time, would love to hang out with you and meet you, chat about your tennis game, and let me know. Best way to do that is just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. Again, I'll be there, really kind of available, starting on that would be Wednesday, June 30th. Right now I'm scheduled to leave on, I guess that would be Monday, the 12th of July. So anyway, any time between those two dates, let's get together. All right, guys, let's talk about the problem of closing it out. And I think what happens, I know for me, and it was kind of subtle in the beginning, and then it got to be pretty obvious what was happening to me, where I would get up a break, and either, or maybe not even a break, the guy's serving at, let's say, 4-5 in the first set, and maybe I've got he's serving at 15-40, I've got a couple of set points, and for whatever reason, not only do I not close it out then, but end up kind of screwing it up and losing the set, right? And I remember that happening actually pretty recently, 2019 in Umag, Croatia, and losing the first set to a guy who's really good. And yet I was up, and I eventually won the match 6-2 in the third. I kind of regrouped because I knew what was going on. I knew what I was doing wrong mentally. But the big thing is that we get ahead, or we get to a point where maybe we've got a set point, even if we're not up a break, right? As I just described, is our expectations change from and everyone says, well, just keep doing what you were doing. And typically the missing kind of the missing answer to that is, all right, well, keep doing what you were doing, meaning, well, what was the shot pattern? Meaning what, you know, maybe you were serving to a certain spot. Maybe you were returning to a certain spot. Maybe you were playing a certain style, you know, playing just serve and volley, or maybe you're playing serve and stay back and looking to come in, or maybe you're just serving back, just serving and staying back and just kind of looping the ball back, whatever it was. Well, the common advice is, well, just keep doing what you were doing. Well, for me, okay, that's obvious, right? I mean, that's so ridiculously obvious. It's not like if I get up 5-3 and now I'm serving at 5-3 and I was doing that through pure serve and volley, that all of a sudden I'm going to go, oh, well, gosh, I guess he knows what's coming, so I'm going to go serve and stay back. No, I mean, that just makes no sense at all, right? So that advice is obviously obvious, right? So the thing that we change in our expectations is really our between points. Whatever we're thinking about between points, that changes when we get to an opportunity to close out a set or close out a match. And it could be that mentally between points, even if you don't have, as I do, a very specific 4 parts between points routine, it could be that you're emotionally and your state of mind is kind of the same, right? And then all of a sudden you're serving at 5-3. Right? You're serving at 5-3 in the set, and now your expectations change. Your mind, what you do between points, changes. And it's not that you're changing the strategy, not that you're changing shot choices, but now you've lost that clarity that you had before, because now you're thinking, well, man, you're starting to think about the what ifs. Well, I could win this first set. And if I win the first set or whatever, maybe it's the second set, maybe it's the match, you know? And so look, here's my advice. And again, this may not be happening with you. There may be another reason that you're finding yourself ahead in a set or ahead in a match and not being able to close it out. For me, it's not being disciplined to my between points routine. And typically what happens, I mean, I'm better at it now than I was before. And there are times when I still have to catch myself, like I mentioned in that match in Croatia back in 2019 against a really tough guy. And it's just, I've been disciplined up to that point with my between points routine. And then there's another little voice on this shoulder. Maybe it's this shoulder over here. I don't know. But it starts popping off, just going, man, you're right there, dude. Let's get this thing done. And the next thing you know is you're starting to think about the outcome. You're starting to think about results. And what I found for me is that when I just screw it, I'm not going to be thinking about that. I'm just going to stick with my between points routine. I'll be patient. I'm going to be patient and just not change what I do between points. Look, I mean, just because maybe I got to serve and volley, and that's what got me there in terms of the tactics part. But it could be that maybe this guy smartly decides when I'm serving at 5-3, I'm going to change something with my return, right? Rather than what I was doing before, this guy might be thinking, I got nothing to lose here. I'm just going to lob every return. All right. Okay, fine. So I'll deal with that. I'll just take it, right? I'll just take it as it happens, and we'll just kind of take it from there. But in terms of what I do between points, not going to change. Just not going to change. And when I do that and stay disciplined to it, again, like I said before, nothing is a guarantee. There's no formula. Don't come to me and say, Brent, what's the formula? What's the lockdown, formula? 1 + 1 = 2, right? If I do this and I do this, then it's going to guarantee a win. Never been done before. There's no 100% lockdown guarantee. All you can do is continue, I think, what you've done between points to get to that point in the set or get to that point in the match, and just keep doing that. And I think that if you'll do that, that you'll put yourself in the best possible place to be able to play the next point. Not the next 3 or 4 points going, well, if I win this game, I win the set, then maybe I'll win the match. No, all we're trying to do between points is just kind of clear out what just happened. maybe we take some of it in terms of, okay, I see that, maybe this is a good pattern. Okay. But you need clarity to be able to play the next point. And once you start thinking about expectations in terms of results, man, that clarity just gets muddled and it gets all dirtied up. And the next thing you know is it's no bueno. So that's my advice for today. That's what's worked for me. And again, like I tell you guys, I try to remind you at least once a week, I'm never going to sit here and sort of be, high on the horse and just say, well, this is what you ought to do each and every, like, here's the only way to hit a forehand, only way to hit a backhand, the only way to hit a top or second serve. Look, what I do is I tell you what's worked for me. I tell you what's not worked for me. So basically what I'm telling you is here's something for you to consider. Here's an option for you to consider. And so if you're struggling with some part of your game, why not? Why not consider something different than maybe what you're doing right now that's not working? And I can't tell you that anyone out there, especially me, no one out there has the answer for you. Part of what we do is, as part of what we should be doing as teachers and coaches, is saying, look, there are some hard truths. There's some hard fundamentals. Or there's some hard truths about fundamentals in the game of tennis that just no matter who you are, no matter what player you are, no matter how great player you're talking about, they're the same. I mean, look, you gotta get yourself into the hitting position as soon as you possibly can. Well, what's that mean? Well, that means footwork. That means spacing. What's the right spatial distance that you need away from the path of the incoming ball to be able to execute minimalist stroke technique so that you don't have to manufacture it, right? It's so simple. It's so dependable. You trust it so much that for your unique swing style, different than mine, different than the next guy, that you have some confidence, right? So to me, the biggest fundamental in the game is spacing and getting into that hitting position as soon as you possibly can. The next big fundamental for me is what's your target? What's your initial instinct in terms of shot choice? Well, shot choice to me is just target. Where do you want to send this next ball, right? You've already gotten yourself into the hitting position. And a lot of people say, well, I get prepped super early. Now I get this big, long laundry list of shot choices. Okay, sure. You could go up the line. You could go to the middle. You could go cross court. You could play a dropper. But if you want, but to me, that fundamental is stick with the first one and just allow your mind to go ahead and just produce it. You don't have to manufacture it, right? You have to trust that all the practice that you've put in, right? You're putting in practice, I know, all the time, right? But you've got to be able to allow your mind to go ahead and I mean, allow your subconscious. I'm not talking about your conscious mind. I'm talking about your subconscious because it knows how to do it better than your conscious mind does. So those are really the fundamentals, right? I mean, we could keep going with light court positioning. Well, what's the next best court position to be into based on your initial instinctive shot choice? Okay, that's fine. Where do you want to move to next? But other than that, to me, the big deal is a big fundamental is what do you do between points? How do you manage the 80% of every tennis match? Could be singles, could be doubles. Because let's be honest, on average, points are only 20% of the time that we're on the court during a match, right? So if you're not managing that other 80%, you're never going to close out a set. I mean, I shouldn't say never, but the chances when you start to play in the upper skill levels and you start knocking on the door and it's 4-all in that third set and you've got break point, you're the guy serving at 15-40, man, you better have some clarity. You better have been disciplined to that 80%, which is the between points and the side change times. And if you are, good things are going to happen. Again, not a guarantee, but the chances of you putting yourself in that winning position go way, way up. So That's it for today, guys. Make sure that you're really disciplined to that between points thinking, that between points routine. And if you want help with yours, just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. I'll tell you what I do, and I'll give you some idea, maybe something for you to think as an option, something for you to consider. But I really believe that if you're not closing out sets or not closing out matches, it has a whole lot less to do with shot choice, with patterns and all that stuff. Sure, we get a little nervous and we get tight, but that's all through expectations. That's all through, well, the what ifs. What if I win this thing? Well, what if I lose this thing? And if you're disciplined to your between points routine, you can keep those thoughts away, and the chances go way up that, again, you're going to come out with a big W. So, guys, that's it for me today. Like a reminder, down below in the description area is that link to 98.6 men's high performance tennis clothing. Go on down there, click the link if you haven't done so yet. Pick up a pair of shorts, a shirt or two, and a hat. You get 15% off your initial order. The discount code is down below as well. Guys, that's it for me today. Looking forward to a great day here in the mountains, Rocky Mountains. My daughter Molly and I, who is here for the last few days, we're flying out from Denver to Oakland tomorrow, celebrate my oldest daughter's wedding celebration this weekend. Boomski. So, guys, with that said, it's time for all of us. We got to get out there today. We got to help someone else have a great day. Guys, I'll see you again next time.